The #1 reason why people move to Rumson is the school district. So in today's video, we're going to cover all of your public school and private school options, both in town and just on the outskirts, so you can make the decision for you and your family of whether Rumson should be the place you guys move. By the way, my name is DJ Tenhove. I run a real estate team here in New Jersey. We specialize in first-time home buyers, move-up buyers, meaning you're moving to try to find your dream house from the current house you're living in, and helping people downsize inside or outside the state of New Jersey. So if you follow the channel, you're gonna see a ton of videos about local towns here in New Jersey, how to build generational wealth, and everything real estate related. So drop us a subscribe down below, we'd appreciate it. All in all, Rumson has about 1,845 kids that will attend school each year, somewhere between preschool and 12. And about 25% of those kids will attend private school, which is a really high number because the state average is only about 12%. It's about double, basically. Now, the cool thing about public school system here in Rumson is that all three schools, Dean Porter, which covers preschool through 3, Forestdale, which covers 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then RFH, or Rumson Fairhaven High School, which covers just high school ages, are all located on the same campus, which makes it super convenient to make sure that when you're dropping kids off, no matter what their grade is, you're doing it all in the same location, generally around the same time, which is very convenient for families. We're going to go into detail on each of the different schools, public and private, and what you can expect from them, and what age groups they cover as well. One of the great things about Rumson is that your preschool program is part of the public school system. So at Dean Porter, you run from preschool all the way through 3rd grade. Now, for such a relatively small town, it's surprising how many private school options there are for preschool, both in town and within about a 10-minute drive. You have Holy Cross Academy, which is here in Rumson, RCDS, or Rumson Country Day School, that's also here, it has preschool. Then you also have the Oak Hill Academy over in Lincroft, the Voyager School over in Lincroft, the Ranny School over in Little Silver on the border of Tinton Falls. And then more locally, between Red Bank and Fairhaven, you have Tower Hill and you have the Ivy Hill School. So all the schools we mentioned above cover kindergarten as well, except for the Ivy Hill Preschool. That's pre-K only. And the Tower Hill School does cover kindergarten, but stops off before you start grade 1. Elementary school generally describes K through 8 in most places, and the middle school is 6th, 7th, and 8th. But here in Rumson, it's divided differently. So you have the Dean Porter School, which covers K through 3, and then Forestdale covers 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. They're both on the same campus. Now, for the Dean Porter School, you have Sherry Feeney, who's the principal there. The coolest thing about Sherry is that she grew up in Rumson and is actually a Rumson Fairhaven High School graduate. It's super rare for a teacher to be able to teach or be a principal in the same school district where they were raised. And on top of that, before she was the principal at Dean Porter, she taught 5th and 6th grades over at Forestdale. So she's Rumson through and through. Now, all the private schools that we mentioned previously are available for you here going up to 3rd grade. Rumson Country Day School, Holy Cross, the Ranny School, Oak Hill over in Lincroft, St. Leo the Great, and the Voyager School as well. So when your child hits 4th grade, which is generally 9 to 10 years old, they're going to move next door to the Forestdale School. So they started at Dean Porter, they moved next door to Forestdale. The good thing is that they're right on the same campus. They share the same fields and public space and all of that, and drop-offs are done in the same area too. So in the morning when you're dropping your kids off, you can drop them both off on Black Point Road, and one's going to go to Dean Porter, one's going to go to Forestdale. Now, the start times are a little bit different, so that can make it a little bit inconvenient because Dean Porter starts at 8 o'clock and Forestdale starts at 8:30, so you might have to make 2 trips unless the kids are cool just waiting around in the morning for one school to start later than the other. So this is a good time to talk about busing. Now, according to New Jersey law, you have to be afforded busing to your local school if you live more than 2 miles away from it. But Rumson's barely 2 miles from end to end, so that means that very few residents would be afforded busing for public school transportation according to that rule. Now, Rumson School District has their own policy on how far you have to be in order to get busing, but most of the kids in town are afforded public school busing. But that brings up another reason for why the downtown section and streets like Lenox and Park and Forest are so desirable. Yes, those streets have houses that are generally smaller and more affordable than being in the riverfront or estate sections of town, but it also allows people to have their kids bike, walk, and ride to school and from every single day. And as society keeps moving faster and faster, there's a desire and a nostalgia to go back to those times and places where your kids can play outside, bike, ride, or walk to and from school in a safe town environment. And I know for a fact that that's one of the main reasons why people are drawn to moving to Rumson and putting their kids in school here. So in addition to Forestdale Middle School, which is the public school option, if you're looking to go middle school private, there are the 4 private schools I've already mentioned to you, which run all the way up to 8th grade. That's RCDS, or Rumson Country Day School, Holy Cross Academy, Oak Hill Academy, and St. Leo the Great. Now, Ranny also covers middle school and runs all the way up to 12th grade. So it's the only school that we mentioned that runs all the way from pre-K through 12th grade. And I know that's a big reason why people pick the Ranny School, because you can have your child stay in one school all the way through until the end of high school. All of the houses here in Rumson are districted to go to RFH, or Rumson Fairhaven High School. Now, if a child goes through the elementary and middle school public school system, for the most part, they go to that high school by choice. If they've gone through a private school, elementary and middle school, they generally choose to go to one of the private high schools, which we'll get to in a second. Now, RFH is a regional high school. It's about 1,000 students that go there per year between Rumson and Fairhaven, and it's very similar to the way that I grew up in North Jersey. So I grew up in Bergen County in a town called Hillsdale, and our high school was Pascack Valley. It was half Hillsdale and half Rivervale, slammed together. Super weird experience for me as a freshman, because all the kids that I competed with as a kid in sports and rivalries were now my teammates. But they became some of my closest friends, and it's very much a similar experience for kids here that go to Rumson Fairhaven High School. They become really close with the kids from Fairhaven that they've been competing with during their entire childhood. If you choose to send your child to private high school, from our previous list of schools we've gone through for lower grades, you have the Ranny School that we talked about already, but a whole bunch of new options open up to you just for high school as well. Now, the Ranny School is a non-religious secular school where the rest of these are all parochial or Catholic schools. Over in Lincroft, you have Christian Brothers Academy, or CBA. That's an all-boys high school. The all-girls sister high school to that is called Trinity Hall, and that's over in Tinton Falls. Now, you also have Red Bank Catholic, which is probably the most popular Catholic high school because it's boys and girls and located right in Red Bank. One of the coolest things about that school is the kids get to leave campus for lunch. So they get a little bit of independence, and they start to learn what it's going to be like when they go to college and have to manage going out and getting their own lunch and coming back to campus and not skipping school for the rest of the day. And your last option, although a little bit further away up in Homedale, is going to be St. John Vianney, which is also another Catholic high school. One of the truly lucky things that students here in Monmouth County have available to them are 5 vocational high schools at the county level, that if you're gifted enough to test into these schools, they are ranked in the top 50 schools in the entire country year after year. Those 5 high schools are located in a variety of different spots around the county, so busing to them is covered by those schools, but you'll do sports at your local high school. So again, you might go to one of these schools during the day and then get bused back to your local high school where you're districted for, in this case RFH, to play sports. Now, those 5 schools are the Monmouth County Academy for Allied Health, Biotech High School, Communications High School, High Tech High School, and the Academy for Marine Sciences and Technology. These are amazing high schools. Definitely do your research into those. We'll put some links in the video description down below. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, going through all the different private and public school options that you have available to you here if you move to Rumson. Again, if there's further questions about any of these schools, you can visit their websites, which we'll put in the description down below. But feel free to reach out to us too, and we can give you some personal anecdotal experience about attending any of these schools, because many of the members of our team actually live in Rumson and have attended these private or public schools, or their kids do. So at any point, if you have any questions, the best way to reach out to us is to send us a message or call us at 201-903-1666. We would love to help you on your purchase here in Central New Jersey, and I hope to see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for checking out Rumson with us. If you're ready to make a move, we've created a complete Rumson relocation guide with more in-depth detail that we couldn't cover here in the videos about schools, neighborhoods, price points. So if you want to download that, click the link below. When you're ready to talk through your plans, reach out anytime. We want to make sure your move here to Monmouth County and Rumson in particular is done with confidence, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. We drop videos about neighborhoods and walkthrough tours once a week. Want to make sure you check those out.